However, we did not do it alone, and I want to thank the many who made it possible, the honorary degrees who we would not be here without, the roommates who took on the cooking and the laundry, the colleagues that reviewed financial models, the partners that heard us practicing our presentations late into the night. We did not do this alone. I certainly did not do this alone. To the faculty, to the staff, the board, my fellow students, the whole PGS community, thank you. Thank you for your endless support and encouragement. Now, as I step across the threshold from being a student to an alum, I want to share 3 simple lessons from my life that became clearer during my time at PGS. Like many things, the lessons were learned only when looking back. Lesson 1, this work is messy and it is full of contradictions. My father worked in public education for 30 years, instilling in me the values of learning to understand, to seek truth, that justice is not only about challenging the roots of oppression, but understanding the history that brought us here. Bookshelves lined the hallways of my childhood home. Diving into stories was a place where my brother and I could dream. Later this week would have been my father's birthday, and I hold him close as I celebrate this weekend. He helped me understand the importance of education and that a better world is possible, and it is part of my responsibility to make it so. Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. It can help lift those out of poverty, advance mobility, challenge unfair systems. Yet zip codes are the greatest predictor of outcomes for children. Education is little more than a myth of leveling the playing field. Schools are one of the greatest reproducers of institutional oppression. Students and staff and faculty have now become commodities, and the market value of a degree is the priority for learning institutions. These doors, they are only open for certain people, and even still, it is far from free. Many of us will join the group of 45 million owing $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion of student debt in this country, which will guide and influence where we can go work burdened with the responsibility of paying it back. Yet, we are the lucky ones, given the opportunity to dream and to take this chance. Education is one of the greatest equalizers. Yes, and. Lesson 2, power is best when it is shared. When I was a young union organizer, I recruited and developed leaders in the workplace. As organizers, we would often compare numbers and wins to determine who was best. It is easy to make the mistake of making this work about ourselves and our own personal wins. Far too often does this happen, even from those with the best of intentions. Yet there is nothing righteous about this work if we fall into the same trap of individualism and ego and simply disguise it as sustainability. As I got older, it was no longer about what campaigns I won, but what we built together and organized collectively. In this time of brokenness, how do we lead differently and focus on building collective power instead of building our own empire? Lesson 3, don't cross a picket line. From growing up in a union household to working in organized labor for a decade, this lesson is one of my own personal strongest values. Yet my time at PGS taught me so much more about what this means. Not crossing a picket is about listening to those most impacted and using one's privilege to support them, even when it might not benefit us directly. Trusting the person whose story it is to tell, that is what solidarity looks like. It means when women's bodies are being controlled, when trans lives are being erased, when Black lives are being murdered, and when people from across borders become illegal, we stand up and we fight for everyone's humanity together. Not crossing a picket is about working intersectionally with solidarity at the front. And it means don't cross a picket line. While my days in the classroom may have come to an end, at least for now, the mindset and the many lessons learned along the way certainly haven't. I'll carry forward the mission to never stop learning and working for justice, imperfectly. Friends, it has been an honor. It has been a privilege to join you on this journey. I thank you for the lessons and the time. Today, let's celebrate our accomplishments, our community, and not forget to experience the great joy from achieving something so significant. Tomorrow, let's get to work. Thank you.